Welcome to an episode of TSIME. It's number 6. Please come love me. I'm sitting here inside my house alone, and I feel ugly. So please come love me. Please come love me and yourself. Love everyone. You have to love yourself. You have to love the people around you. You have to love the people you don't even know. You have to love the people they tell you to hate also. You have to, because if you don't, the only thing you're going to have is a bunch of scrunched up skin, wrinkles. You're going to be wrinkly when you are 45. Trust me. I don't know how I've avoided the wrinkles and managed to maintain this porcelain frame. Holy shit, man. I mean, if you want to get on screen, Mortimer Ichabod's skull is back from his tutelage in France. He went there to study the pygmy culture of Australia. It's pretty funny. He went to France to study the pygmy cultures of Australia. And now he's throwing things at me because, well, I'm not giving him any airtime. Oh. Yes. Last week we had on, I don't know if you noticed Mortimer Ichabod's skull. His great-grandfather is Mortimer Ichabod Marker. And I don't know if you know who that is, but if you do a little research, you might be surprised. And you might learn to draw a little bit. Anyway. So yeah, Mortimer was off in France studying pygmy culture. And, well, he was a little pissed off that I brought on Ruth Toothbook. And she was on the episode. I don't know if anybody noticed, but I don't know if anybody watched. I think we're up to like 6 or 7 people now watching my episode. And, I don't know if they even get this far. So, yeah, but Ruth Toothbook, yeah, she's another oddity in my life. You know, she's a book of teeth. But, you know, she was around and Mortimer was gone, so I stuck her in. I see what's going on. It's the cat. The cat and Mortimer are playing around. Well, I just want to talk about a few things. All right, let's talk about celebrities. Because it seems to me that we have a whole bunch of them that are just like sitting at home and they're crying and they're feeling really nervous and scared or whatever. And like, they're not really coming out of the woodworks to be like, no, guys, we should practice some kind of different approach. I don't think staying in your house is specifically necessary. I think not going places where there are lots of people, that is a very smart thing to do. You know, it's I think at this point it's kind of like practicing safe sex. You want to know where everyone's been before you be with them. Right? You want to know, you know, you've been down the block. Have you been pumping yourself into some different denominations of human beings? You know, I mean, we have all different types and flows of people. Were you out there getting all the different flavors? There's 31 flavors of Baskin Robbins. I've always thought of that in terms of women as well. You're going to want to try all 31 flavors. And I think, as a man, if by the time you reach a certain age, I'd say 35 or so, if you haven't tried all the flavors you've wanted to try, you're probably pissed off. You are probably desperate, you know? That's how, like, serial killers are created. You know, like, guys who could never get it for free. They just didn't have what it takes. You can't all expect that you have what it takes. You know what I mean? It's hot in here. It's hot in here, I swear. You cannot all expect to have what it takes to do everything, you know? I can't dunk. I cannot dunk for the life of me. Just can't do it. There are certain things I can't do. I can't shred on my guitar. If I practice a lot, maybe I'll be able to. But that's not really what I'm into. You gotta pick something you're into as well. You can't just be mad. Now it's cold. You can't just be mad that you're not into everything. You know what I mean? You can't just get... I think that's called haterism is what it is. It's called hating. You see somebody who's good at something, anything, and you put them down for it because you're not good at anything. It's not really what they're good at, per se. It's what you're not good at. Right? What kind of things are you good at? If you had to really narrow it down in your life. Just take the lights down a bit. I'm not feeling them. Got my coffee. I'm trying to make a coffee mug that says TSIME on it. And no, I don't mean like make one with my hands. Although I do believe there's a pottery class in Old Town. We wouldn't be able to do that. It's very possible we are on a level where nothing's ever going to open up again. Things are only going to keep shutting down. Jesus Christ. So I'm watching this this thing on here on Twitter, on the twats. Let me turn my screen down a bit. And I don't know if this will be even allowed. I'll click on the video. It's out on the streets. And the animals are just feeling bold enough to come out walking because nobody's there. There's no noise, right? So what if, like, some tigers are, like, chasing that thing? Chasing those guys. What if there's, like, tigers or wolves or something tracking those guys? People come out and then they, hey, can you be quiet? Yeah, people come out and they're like, oh, look at all the deer. Oh, no, this wolf, it's got my leg. Somebody come over and hit the wolf. No, we're too scared to hit the wolf. Shoot the wolf. Bang. Oh, you shot me instead. The wolf is still pulling on my leg. Please. Okay, I'm going to shoot again. Bang. Oh, no. You've really hurt me this time. How come you haven't shot the wolf yet? You're only shooting me. Well, I'm not very good at aiming. The gun I'm allowed to have is a musket. We're not allowed to have guns. Where is this? Haridwar? I'm going to find out where that is. Where's Haridwar, right? Where is Haridwar?
Here is a map of Haridwar, Uttarakhand, India.
So we're talking about in India. But let's just get things really clear. That is an area that is not specifically getting attacked badly by the virus. It's very close to China. But believe me, all the places like around China are safe. They knew what was going on ahead of time, so they put all their security in place beforehand. I mean, they were checking temperatures, like, immediately. If you got a temperature, you're not coming in. Period. We, on the other hand, knew, but whatever. I don't even think that's even true. I think it's just all just a big scam, bro. It's all just a big scam. We are supposed to be afraid, and we are supposed to blame certain people for this whole thing. I don't particularly blame the people they want me to blame it on. No. I look at what, to me, are the greatest disasters going on right now, and what do they all have in common? Now, I could sit here and tie it all together and say, well, all the students started protesting and going insane right after Trump, right? Man, like, all of a sudden, like, thousands of immigrants were at our border getting arrested right during Trump, right? Oh, we had a great economy, and it crashed. Oh, right during Trump. A new virus broke out, and it got into our country right during Trump. So if we tie it all together, and we just say, hey, it was Trump. Right? Well, let me just say this. If there was a deer in the woods, and 8 different people shot at it at once, the common denominator is the deer. Okay? So do we blame the deer? Do we blame the deer that everybody shot at the same fucking time? And there's only one reason why it would all be happening right now during Trump's office, and it's because Trump's in office. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a fan of men in business suits. I like normal, everyday, average people. So do I think Trump is awesome? No. Would I maybe have made fun of him in school? Yes. Would I have wanted him representing my crew in school? No, but I'm not in school anymore. I'm a full-grown adult, and I came to realize that I pay a lot of money to the government for taxes. I did that for a long time. So now, as everything crumbles, I am expecting something from my government only because of that. Because I didn't just pay the federal government taxes. I paid Social Security. And if you gotta think about it for a second, then you probably just don't listen to any of the words that anybody says. Or even the words you say. You just spout words and you don't even listen to what they mean or anything. Social Security. Security within a society. And a society does not mean race. It doesn't mean the human race. It doesn't mean species. It just means a specific society. There are lots of societies in the world. Social Security gets paid into to members of this society, so members of this society will be taken care of when they can't take care of themselves. I don't ask for free anything. I do not want the government to give me $1,000 a month. I don't want that. I'll say it again and again and again. I would rather them make everything go back to normal. That's what I would rather, but that's not going to happen. So, at this point, I feel that there's only a couple questions we need to ask, and that's what color are we going to dye our hair? And how how are we going to make it to where women and children are off limits during the pillaging and forming of the new cliques and gangs? Because we don't want women and children getting hurt out there, you know? I would say that we don't want animals to get hurt, and I would say that animals are off limits, but we will get either hungry or, my personal preference, I would like to get a bulldog and then put Freddy claws on him. Like, you know, like Freddy gloves. So he's like, bulldog. Like Edward Scissorhands style. You know, I would like to capture like a falcon and raise it from birth. Then it's going to think I'm its mama. And now we'll put, you know, little jailhouse shanks on his claws. He'll come by and get that street justice, give you that Turkish revenge. You ever had swole? In jail. In jail we eat swole. Well, we used to. You basically take everything and stick it together. So I get that soup, those noodles, break up a Slim Jim into little pieces and put that joint in the noodles. Cook that joint. Put some salt and pepper. You got to put extra shit hot sauce. Definitely hot sauce. Definitely hot sauce, right? And then afterwards you take the crackers, crumble up them cheese crackers. Sometimes the peanut butter crackers are good. Sometimes that little sweetness in there is a good thing. But I'll generally save the peanut butter crackers so I can eat them for like dessert. You know what I mean? Don't let them catch you with that contraband. If you keep your food, it's contraband. Nah, when I was in jail, we used to do some crazy shit, man. I took a shampoo bottle, and I would take all the salts and peppers and put them in there and like just keep them. And people would give me their salts and peppers, and I would just fill this little shampoo bottle up with salt and pepper mix, and then I would put it out, and people would just come by and use it, right? But then like it wasn't just for nothing, because afterwards, after everybody was done with their trays, some people didn't want their cakes. But if they came by and they was using my salt and pepper and shit, they'll come by and drop off that cake for me. So at the end of lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever the case may be, I'll have a few extra things, you know what I mean? I was making sure that I was proteined up. Because, you know, I was working out in jail too. You got to get beef stock, you know what I mean? You got to become like a beast of burden in that bitch. It's like, you got to just pull on things and just get your back ready and get your legs built, get your back built. There's one thing I've always considered myself as a beast of burden. You know what I mean? Like, and my Chinese horoscope is a horse, so you can see how I would mess up that. Horoscope is a horse. A horoscope is a horse, of course. My horoscope is a horse, of course. My horoscope is a horoscope is the Chinese zodiac. Actually, I'm a Libra, so I'm a horse, and I'm scales. Right? It's kind of interesting too. I just started watching Netflix show, A Letter for the King. And I think the coolest part of that show, the show itself is kind of hacky, and I don't like shows with an agenda. Usually I would have turned it off the moment I realized that like they tried to be just like racially and ethnically and classically and sexual proclivity inclusive. It just bothers me, you know. It doesn't bother me to see a movie that has people of color, women, gays, anything like that. I like. I can name you movies with all of the above. You know what I mean? Shit, I thought Brokeback Mountain was a very romantic movie. I just think that they didn't cast actual gay people in it. You know what I mean? They should have cast somebody who was gay and not two bisexual males. But whatever, man. You know, I can see how things have to be kind of like inclusive, but at the same time, if you're going to be inclusive, then why wouldn't you allow somebody who's not the race of the character to play the character? I mean, there's all kinds of different ways we can go with this. And at the end of the day, you really don't want to start calling out anything because you end up calling yourself out. And then the rules start getting changed and blended. This is why I don't understand what people's thinking process is. And it's this thinking process, it's going to change here. After this coronavirus thing, this thinking process that we have, which is completely mutated, it's like societal vomit, what we're doing right now. We are vomiting as a society. Everything that's coming out of us is just like mixed with bile and stomach acid, and the fact is that it's because everything we're feeding ourselves, mentally, physically, we can't take. It's not good for us. So our bodies and our minds are rejecting it all. And as we sit around and we talk to each other and we spout our opinions at each other and we try to shame each other, what we're really doing is we're just vomiting on each other. And we need to sit back and realize that we are sick individuals. And it's not the corona. It's our society. And it's the way the news and the media and our own friends and our own proclivities and it's the way the racists, the real racists of the society and the classists and the eugenists, it's the way they push us into these thought patterns that's really making us sick. The coronavirus doesn't make us sick as sick as the fear and the loathing and the hatred that's brought about by all of these other people. I just believe in educating yourself and not listening to other people. And when you hear somebody, no matter how much sense they sound like they're making, do some research before you take it in to your catalog of things you're going to spout and say. Really do all of the math, because, guys, almost everything that everybody's asking for is impossible without destroying our country. Do you want to have to move to another country? You're going to have to. So all the celebrities are going crazy. They're all talking about how scared they are and how boring it is and everything. But really what's happening is a lot of celebrities are starting to learn who's relevant and who's not. And one of my favorite things to do right now is go watch Ellen DeGeneres have her breakdown where she's trying to be like super cool. She's running on a treadmill watching the Ellen Show. Is that even on still? I don't know if the Ellen Show is still on. Maybe they're still taping. I don't know. You know why I don't know? I don't care. There was a time in my life where I'd be flipping through the channels and I would see Ellen and I would stop and watch it. But how many people are you going to Jack in the Box pop out on and it still be funny? I mean, some people even get mad at you. It's almost like watching Gordon Ramsay insult, a sad chef for an hour. And then at the very end, praise the guy and tell him how good he's going to do. And I don't know. I don't think Gordon Ramsay ever apologizes. Like at the end of the shows, he doesn't say, "Sorry for being a dick, but look what we did for you." He doesn't, because he's not sorry for being a dick. He is glad and relishes every chance to be a dick. That's one thing people didn't like about me growing up. I did relish every chance to call people out on things. What else is there to do? What else is there to do? Sit with everybody else? I'm definitely not going to be one of the 7 guys who are hitting on one of the 2 girls that are with us. Well, I was always lucky enough to have the girl I wanted. And that doesn't mean that I always wanted that girl. It doesn't mean I always had a girl. It just means that when I had a girl, it was a girl I wanted. And I do feel bad for some of the relationships that I had that didn't work out. 1 or 2 in particular that I feel like I just was a dog. I didn't cheat. I just didn't stay. And just... I guess cheating is relative. I don't think necessarily it's a requirement. Hold on. That you are dating a person and then you have sex with another person to be a cheater. I think it's way easier than that to be a cheater. I think that if you go around the corner and you don't tell people and you get there first, or if you get an advantage on somebody and an advantage nobody else had that you stole, you're cheating. Right? I don't know. Cheating is relative, but by most terms, I would say most people cheat. Until they find the one that they really just are never going to cheat on. And then is that person not going to cheat on you? That's a problem I've always ended up facing. Not fidelity, but infidelity. So that was the most retarded thing I've said all day. I will definitely not spontaneously combust because that was so retarded. So I'm at the 27-minute mark, guys. I just want to let you know that I've watched my videos. I've rewatched a couple, and I don't think that I could handle listening to myself for an entire hour. It doesn't make sense for me to talk for an hour. I've said enough, and it's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm going to be in this house forever. So I decided to start making my videos be around 30 minutes or so, unless I have a guest, which I may have a guest tonight, later. Possibly, if they pass the screening. I actually am asking them questions right now. Well, after the video, I'll go back to asking them questions to find out if it would be okay to have them over. But they have been in self-isolation, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. There's actually a band, right? But I don't know. I don't know if bands can really put themselves in self-isolation unless they're not playing. If they're a gigging band, then I don't know, they'll break my isolation bubble, and I don't feel comfortable with that. So, but we'll see how things work out. I would do Skype, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Guys, I want you to think about what you're doing all day. I want you to imagine if you have, any time, a half an hour of your day to spend listening to some crazy guy talk, I'm going to be working on some more music a little later on, so that's one thing that I'll be looking forward to doing. I was reading somewhere that the Renaissance period was triggered by the bubonic plague, and that everybody being quarantined in their houses caused people to literally take up the arts, And I would suggest to everybody to do that. I would also suggest to everybody to build a fort in your living room. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, flip your couches and your chairs and make a cave in there and go in and hang out, all right? Like and subscribe to this channel, this video. Leave some comments. Ask me some questions. I want to answer some questions in my next couple of videos coming up. So Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.